Okay, so here I'm going to demonstrate inheritance. This is just a simple base class called person, and person has one data member called name. It's got two constructors, and it's got a set and a get function. So one private data member, four public member functions, and one friend function, which is the output operator. These four are all declared in line. So the only thing that has to be in person.cpp is my output operator. So all that does is display the name. And you should be familiar with that code now. Very important, this file needs to include person.h. Okay, so there's our base class. Now we're going to take a look at our derived class. That's the student class. So you can see here it has to include person.h because that's my base class, so that's important. And that's in student.h has to include person.h. So what's going to happen here, class student colon public person. So the student class is going to inherit from the person class. The inheritance is going to be public. That means all of the public members of the base class, right? These are the public members of the base class, are going to be public in the derived class. That's the most common way to do that. If you put private there, then that means everything will get inherited as private, and it's kind of hard to use things that are private because you don't have access to them. Okay, so there's two data members here, GPA and major. So what it's important to note about this class student right now is it really has three data members, GPA, major, and the one from the base class, which is name. Okay, so this class has two constructors, right, a default one and one with three parameters, because keep in mind this class really has three members. It's got an advisor name, a GPA, and a major. And then I've got set and get functions for the GPA member and set and get functions for the major member, and this class also has an output operator. So I'm going to go to student.cpp. All of my functions which are not written in line, that would be my two constructors, and my output operator are located in here. Now this starts to get a little tricky with the include files. This has to include student.h, right? Because that has to include student.h. It does not include person.h because when you include student.h, that's already including person.h as well. So when you include student.h here, you're getting student.h and person.h. Alright, so let's take a look. Here's my two constructors and the output operator. What's important to note here is I don't have direct access to name. And name is a data member of this derived class, but because it's private in the base class, I cannot access it. So I can't do something like that. The only thing I can do is call the set name function, and this will just set the name to the empty string. Because if I come out here, set name is public, so I can access it. Okay, same thing here. In my operator, I have to use get name here. I could not use name. Okay, I don't have access to it because it's private, even though it's in my base class. Here I could put GPA if I wanted to, because GPA is private, but GPA is located in the student class itself. And then I go to my driver, which declares student S1. It passes it three parameters: the advisor name, the student name, the GPA, and the advisor name. And then this will execute my output operator for the student class. So I'm going to run this, and you can see it run. Okay. Also keep in mind here I've got to include student.h because I'm using that student data type here as well.